Movies, books, stage plays and video games all have different genres. For games, we've all tacitly agreed on most of them. FPS, adventure, RPG, platformer, racing, puzzle, third-person shooter, action-adventure, and so on. In the early NES black box days, Nintendo put the genre or type of game on the front of the box, but they didn't continue that tradition into the other generations. At least not in the West. It seems Japan was more diligent in this regard. The Super Famicom only occasionally had it. For instance, it says action game on Super Metroid. But Sega put icons on their Mega Drive games, and philosophy quotes on Sonic 1, 2 and Knuckles. Nintendo 64 had more, with some inventive names like how Mega Man 64 is a free-running RPG, and Hey You Pikachu is a Taiwa or conversation game. Sony didn't seem to deem genre marks too important, but Capcom seemed to always put them on the spines of both their PS1 and PS2 games, and Konami did on the front of theirs. What about the Dreamcast? They're on the back in the top right corner. And the 5 that I own are Rent a Hero No. 1, the 3D action RPG, Undercover 80-2025K, the detective action adventure, Roomania 203, the life intervention type. But disappointingly, Sega Gaga is just a simulation RPG, not a Sega simulation RPG. But Shenmue is free. Full reactive eyes entertainment, that is. But the GameCube is where it gets the most interesting. There it seems like Nintendo made it a rule that everyone put a genre in the lower left corner of the box. And while most of the time it was what you'd expect, like Wave Race is a race game, Wind Waker and Luigi's Mansion are adventure games, Mario Party 6 is a party game. But then you get the exceptions like Odama, which is a Jinkai Senjutsu Rakujo action game. Right. No mention of pinball anywhere, but instead I would loosely call it a human wave tactics make castle surrender game. The majority of the time it was Nintendo that did this with the games that they published. Animal Crossing is a communication game, whatever that means. Wario World isn't just action, it's powerful action. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat is barrel conga action. Pikmin is AI action. Doshin the Giant, because of its setting, is Nangoku action. And Eternal Darkness is fittingly enough a psycho adventure. Although in Japan, psycho doesn't mean the same thing as here. There it's psychological, not just like wielding a chainsaw and stuff. Skip, the company that made Chibi Robo for Nintendo, which is amusingly enough called Chibi Action Adventure by the way, their first game, Giftpia, which I really want to call Giftopia, is an alternative RPG. Some other companies also played out their genres a bit. Sega called Sonic Heroes high-speed team action, and Super Monkey Ball ball-playing action. Odd then that the sequel, which is more of the same kind of thing, is a party game all of a sudden. Capcom's Beautiful Joe games are fittingly VFX action, and Killer 7 is a multiple personality action adventure. Konami, not to be outdone, put Hacha-Mecha Tyson action on their Smash Brothers alike Dream Mix TV, and Natsume/Marvelous dubbed Harvest Moon Honobono Jinsei game, such as they had on the N64, which kinda means heartwarming life game. The genres were relegated to the back of the box in the Wii days, and I don't know of many interesting ones there apart from Rhythm Fever being a Norikan game, which is hard to translate into words, but could be summed up like this. And Captain Rainbow is either an attempt to be clever or a typo. Action-venture. The same thing happened on Wii U. Breath of the Wild is an open-air adventure, for instance. The DS also had genres on the back of the box. Like its GameCube cousin, Chibi Robo Park Patrol is flower-blooming chibi action. The two Starfy games are both marine action. This Lupin game says both front and back that it's an intellectual riddle-solving infiltration action game. It's funny to me how Mega Man Zero Collection is 2D action, whereas Mega Man ZX is just action, even though it is also 2D. The Japanese exclusive Rockman EXE and Star Force crossover game is a data action RPG. But I really didn't expect the Star Force games to be brother action RPGs. There don't seem to be any genres on the Switch or PS4 however. So there ends the wild world of amusing genre names.